All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Halos in the Infield, James Squared, the fourth edition. As you see, we've done some spring cleaning out here with the graphics and whatnot. Shout out to all the ideas here and all the great things. This is going to be a 30-plus minute show, just breaking down Angel games of the week before and the week going forward. We'll have news and notes and whatever the case is. You'll see it more ramped up when opening day comes and all that. When the Angels start in Baltimore, eventually the home opener against Boston and that weekend series, which is weird having you know Boston as a home opener. They don't usually come until August or something like that. So that's weird that they're here for opening day. Anyway, if you like what you're seeing here on Halos in the Infield, just please subscribe and follow to Halos in the Infield on YouTube, and then the podcast form on Believe, as well as on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Shout out to our awesome sponsors, Noble Ale Works at 1621 Sinclair Street B, Anaheim, California, 92806. 714 tickets.
714 tickets. 714 tickets.
I'll let you do that part every time. At 2620 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, California. Man, it literally, the thing is like, hey, you can buy, I know the slogan is like buy tonight, go, or buy today, go tonight, but literally with the Ducks right there, the Angels right there, it's perfect. And then they do it for everything, like the NBA, NFL. When that comes back, that's going to be a hot ticket, I believe.
Nationwide. You can get tickets nationwide with 714 tickets. It's everywhere, not just in Anaheim.
That's what I like about it.
So you can literally
go ahead.
Buy today and go tonight.
Yeah. It's something, man. I still have. I'm sorry for Noble Ale Works, but I still have this. I didn't steal it. It just happened to stick to one of my drinks and fall in my pocket. But this coaster from Noble Ale Works, it's still here in the little home studio. Anyway, let's get to some spring training news and notes and games and our opinions of what we have seen the first 3 weeks or so. So this week, I'll go first real quick. So I'm looking at the injuries, and unfortunately, it's part of spring training, of course. Rendon had what was his injury? I forget.
He has a groin injury. A groin. He pulled it. Yeah, he pulled his groin once again.
Yeah, so he's out of the split squad games today, maybe for the whole rest of the week. Who knows? Or a week. And also, reliever Robert Stevenson had some bullpen sessions thrown. He's dealing with some shoulder discomfort. It's unfortunate. He did throw his first bullpen session on Wednesday without any issues. He'll throw another one this weekend before appearing here in spring training. It's still up in the air if he'll be ready for opening day. Remember, he was that 3-year deal signing in free agency from Tampa, and I'm really looking forward to how the 31-year-old will fit in. With the bullpen, I'm thinking, hey, maybe we'll get, Esteves closing, Stevenson or Matt Moore, 7, 8, 9. It'd be great to have everybody in their spots. I think that would be so damn important because last year and the years before, we knew Esteves would be the closer, but he couldn't close in certain situations, right? Or he couldn't keep a lead, hold the lead, or prevent more runs from being scored. That's just the way he was. So Michael Stefanik suffered a left quad strain in the first game of spring training, if you remember, on the 24th of February. He's running on the field, taking live batting practice. There's no timetable for his return. And yes, Anthony Rendon, groin tightness, playing on Sunday. He's out of the lineup until Thursday. So it isn't considered serious. And thank God on that note. All right, so for the games, again, we mentioned there was a split squad Wednesday here with the Cubs and the A's. And looking at the scores now, well, it doesn't matter, but the Cubs are leading in the ninth there. And then Oakland, the A's are leading in that. Mike Trout had a grand slam. To take you through the week of note here, let's see. So since we last talked on to start March, the Angels defeated the Padres 5-3. I actually caught that game. There's a lot of power in that game, but one thing that did kind of denote everything kind of was Reed Detmers. He had walking troubles. Couldn't find the zone. Washington had to come out and get him. It was really unfortunate to see. He's one of those guys, just like pretty much the whole rotation. We're hoping someone steps up. They defeated Arizona on the second, the White Sox on the third, the Rangers on the fourth, and then the Dodgers on Tuesday shut out the Dodgers, and we'll talk more about that, one of our topics. Some notes to look at. Yeah, Mike Trout had the grand slam. Shout out to Halo Joe here on the network for telling us, and then letting us know, hey, that was very important.
Thank you, Halo Joe.
Yeah, that was much needed.
He's a wealth of information, that's for sure.
Just yeah,
and very funny.
Hell yeah. Trout, he definitely needed that. You've seen so many years here now with Mike Trout where he's just hitting just for power. He keeps going for the big hit, like Ohtani did, right?
Yeah.
Where you just know they're cutting just to hit home runs. It'd be nice to see. I think Rob mentioned on the podcast before with Fernando a couple of days ago, actually, where he should just shorten up his swing. He should not be going for the home runs. Just something that would make his career prolonged, I think, instead of just having strains by swinging and missing hard. I think that'd be awesome. So I did get to see Tyler Anderson. I believe it was against the Rangers the other day. And, on Monday. And it seems like he's not using the fastball as much. Remember, he would get in trouble,
Right.
keeping the fastball on the middle or high. And for that, he was getting tattooed. It seemed like every time the Angels scored a run, he would give back 2 or 3 the next half inning. And that was so frustrating. Again, he's in the second year of a 3-year deal. But what I noticed in spring this year, he's kind of using his off-speed pitches and then surprising the hitters on a 2-strike count, throwing a fastball. And he's not worried about the velocity, luckily, of it now. I think everybody was complaining last year, well, he's only throwing 89, 90 on a fastball. Well, that's not his strength. Like his idol, Greg Maddux, the reason he wears 31, we know him. He's not someone that was relying on velocity. He was relying on painting the corners of a house and doing it well.
He was a finesse pitcher.
And I love that too. Just if Anderson, if he's able to show some forms like that of Maddux, like his idol, he could go some great places. Joe Adell, he's been hitting well, but the thing is opportunities and at bats, especially in the regular season now. He's showing the power. Again, he put on the muscle, looking real good. Defensively is still a little odd out there. You could put him at DH, considering the Angels won't sign JD Martinez, I don't think.
Right.
You could put Adele out there at DH, instead of on the field, because the Angels eventually will have 5 outfielders, and you'll put out Adele out there, I think, last resort. You throw Aaron Hicks out there as well.
He's had a good spring.
Hell yeah.
So far.
Elaborate that when I get to you, because I want to hear your thoughts on Hicks later on.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's fitting in pretty well. And again, it's not a high reward or high risk signing there. And then maybe he could help Adele in some things if Adele wants it. So the thing is too with Adele, he has no more team options. This is it. Like he can't be sent down. This is it for him. So they have to play him. This is huge, and this will be hopefully his breakout season. If not, he's gone, and someone else will take him and use him properly and well. Probably that's just been the Angel way. Whenever someone leaves, they do better somewhere else, and I hate seeing that. I would hate if that continued. Okay, another thing I noticed under Ron Washington Walsh, the Angels are running more. They're getting on base more and scoring. It's a great sight to see. They're just stealing so many bases. We saw that in the Dodger game yesterday, where Trout stealing second, somebody's breaking for home. They're making the defense throw the ball away and taking a couple more bases. They're being really aggressive, and I really enjoy that. I would like to see some more bunting, but I don't think we're there yet. Maybe later on in the spring here, maybe you'll see some more bunting. But I really like seeing the speed go. Even Shawnee Wells running well, and then some guys you don't expect, just like Shawnee Well. I saw Miguel Sanu do something I don't think he would ever do with the Twins. Since he shedded those 55 pounds or whatever it was, he came from first to home on a right field gapper. I'm thinking to myself, I think it was against Texas. No, it was against the Dodgers. I'm thinking to myself, I never saw that with the Twins. I never saw that with him, and I was so amazed by that. So I'm really happy to report he's running well. He even played third yesterday against LA.
Yeah, and he made a play, a play where he jumped up and caught the ball, and he looks very spry, looks very athletic out there. So losing weight definitely helped him in a lot of areas. So
I need to get on whatever program he did. No more
right.
hamburguesas con queso and more plátanos. No doubt about it. So yeah, it's great seeing him, and then Hunter Dozier,
The new Ohtani,
the new 17. He's
the
been
new
hitting well.
17.
Yeah, he's been hitting well. Again, he's platooning for second base without Renifo right now. There's, I think, a slight chance he could be the opening day starter at second. You never know. Or if Rendon has an injury, you never know. He could be there as well. So it's great to see Dozier out there. Again, when these little signings happen with the Angels, you figured, okay, you're going to have guys try to get in anywhere they can. And if the Angels keep them around, we'll see how they do. So yeah, Shawnee Wells hitting well. Nettle, Hicks, like you said, they all have 7 hits right here. Some guys did get sent down, like Nelson Rada. We'll see him down the line, hopefully with the Angels, but he just wasn't ready yet to pre-long in spring training. And then the pitching, I'm really intrigued by Victor Medeiros. He has 9 strikeouts this year in spring training so far. Everybody's ERA is pretty high, but his is 0. He's doing really well. Again, Tyler Anderson with his 7 strikeouts, he's really painting the ball well, and that's what we wanted to see. And then Zuniga, the reliever, I'm hoping he gets on the team somehow. Again, with Joyce and the other guys, like I mentioned last week, I don't know if that'll happen, but he's got velocity. He just has to locate it well. And he's been a bright spot. Zach Plesac, of course, got his second win. There's other guys, with the ERAs pretty high, like Soriano and Joyce, where you're kind of wondering about them. We saw Joyce run into some struggles, like I think you mentioned in the chat. Hopefully that gets settled, and Detmers as well. If not, it'll be tough to see. One bright spot to note: Patrick Sandoval. He's worked 9 innings, couple strikeouts. His ERA is 0 literally in a couple innings, so that's good. Anything positive for him, I'll definitely take. All right, so let's get to your solo shot, James, and your spring training news and notes or opinions. I'm waiting for that.
Okay, well, I do have a little bit of breaking news. Anthony Rendon did have a workout today, and it went well, but he's still not going to play tomorrow. According to Ron Washington, as soon as the trainers okay him to begin more baseball activities or to be in games, then Ron Washington will give him an extra day of rest so he can rest that groin, because you don't want to mess with groin injuries, as we've seen in the past with some players. As far as spring training notes, I'll be going to spring training on Friday, and I'll be there. I'm going to try to do a solo spot, probably, hopefully with on here on StreamYard, and I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect when fans like myself go to spring training. And it's very exciting. And when you get to go to a game, it's much like being at a major league game, but on a smaller scale. And it's just a bunch of fun and a lot of food and drink. And then, you get to be up close and personal with some of the players. You can come out early and you can see some of the players walking out from the minor league complex. That's always great. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. I don't know, what else are we talking about?
Hey, James, let me ask you this.
Sorry.
Is there anybody that has, really, stood out to you that maybe no one's looking at on the team, like someone trying to make a roster spot, or someone who's hot, who's not? I think that's what I'm going for here.
Oh, okay. Well, last night we saw a kid named Tyler Thomas. He struck out Ohtani. He's a lefty. He hasn't played in about 3 years. I was looking at his stats last night for whatever reason. I don't know if it was because of injuries or he got out of the game, but he's a name to watch. He's a lefty reliever coming out of the bullpen. He had some nasty, nasty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
His off speed, his breaking pitches were great, and he struck out Ohtani, and that's a big feat. Even though it's only spring training, that's a big thrill for a kid, And he's in his mid-20s, so that's someone to watch. Other players, pretty much. Well, Mickey Moniak's having a good spring. That fifth, I keep talking about, carrying 5 outfielders on the roster. I think Ron Washington will carry 5 outfielders because there's so much talent, as you said, that Joe Adell cannot go down. He's out of options. So look for, I don't know, that the last 2 outfielder spots, it's going to be a tough decision because you have Adell playing well. He just hit a homer today in one of the games.
Wow.
Yeah. Moniak, you have Hicks. Taylor Ward's having a good spring. Hey, these guys are motivated. Mike Trout just hit a grand slam today. Both games have gone final, and they both lost both of them. But the 5th outfielding, I don't know who's gonna. That leaves out who else? Let's see. We have Jordan Adams. That's another guy. But I expect him to start in AAA in Salt Lake. And he's having a pretty good spring too when he gets into games. But Hicks, man, Hicks, that's going to be a good pickup if he can continue to do what he does. He has a cannon for an arm. Reminds me of Cole Calhoun, out and right. He's going to be playing right most likely. And that guy was clocked at 102 is with the Yankees on a throw home. So that's unbelievable in itself. And he's making a strong case to crack the starting day lineup here, or opening day lineup, I should say, the starting lineup. So yeah, Hicks, Moniak, Trout, Ward, Adele, and who am I missing? There's one, Jordan Adams. Yeah, but as far as infielders, Drury's quietly having a good spring. He's quietly getting it done, and Neto, he's been spectacular. Ron Washington's been working with him a lot this spring, and it shows. He made another great catch, a leaping catch yesterday in that game against the Dodgers. So, and Sano, of course, he's having a good spring, and then he could be our backup third baseman. This is the show. Hunter Dozier is another one to look at. The new, AKA the new Ohtani. And that's I don't know. Ron Washington has a lot of decisions to make. I think cuts are coming, more cuts, and you can't keep them all. So what are the Angels going to do? Because we need depth. Are we going to go with 5 outfielders and that leaves maybe 1 or 2 people on that bench, because you're going to carry 5 outfielders, not going to have much of a bench there. So do you keep a player like Hunter Dozier or a Sano? Who knows? I don't know. It's going to be a very difficult decision for Ron Washington at this point. I think all these players are doing really well, but you can't keep all of them. You have to cut some. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks when the Angels finally make their final cuts for this roster. So
yeah, that's always the toughest thing for a manager. And then the GM, of course, and everybody involved, and the scouting department. It's like, hey, I believe this guy can help you right away, or I believe this guy will do better starting out in AAA, AA, or whatever. I always hear a thing where it says if everybody's thinking on the right page, if everybody's on the same page, no one's thinking differently, and you kind of want different opinions because everything changes. So it's funny how, you mentioned the 5 outfielders. It has to be, with Ward, Trout, Moniak, Adele, and Moniak. With those 5, it's like you got to platoon them. Eventually, injuries will happen. We know. So you do have some guys out there. For once, you feel like you're deep for once, but maybe not
in
deep
one
in
area.
Talent.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Deep. Yeah,
you're deep in people, but you're not deep in talent. But you're hoping that progress will happen. That's all. All right. So this was awkward yesterday. What I was talking with Shohei Ohtani, let's get that there. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani against the Angels yesterday. Now, it was a familiar sight seeing Trout and Ohtani together, hugging it out or whatever. But seeing Ohtani, number 17, in Dodger blue must have, hurt people or hurt people's eyes. I'm used to it now. I'm at a point where I'm not like spying on my ex, stuff like that. I know he's over there. And guess what? You're only going to face him 4 times next year. And he's not pitching. So, get this out of the way now. That was the off season. Get out of the way now. So I did see something where Ohtani, met with and joked around with Trout, Ohapi, Drury, Neto, and other Angel players before the first pitch at Camelback Ranch. It was the first time Ohtani wore his Dodger blue against the Angels, and he was a DH yesterday. Trout did point out that he saw Ohtani in a different uniform. Remember, I think it was around this time last year, in the World Baseball Classic when Ohtani was playing for Japan, Trout was playing for USA, and then that strikeout happened to give Ohtani finally a win, a winning attitude with Japan. Ohtani, of course, signed that 10-year deal, $700 million with the Dodgers. Trout had some things to say. He was over here for 6 years, and he did a lot for us. Well, a lot for himself. I want to say for us. He's also mentioned, hey, it was different seeing him over there. But there was just congratulations from Epi to Ohtani from the Angel players. That's what basically happened. Ohtani did go 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against the former team. But Ohtani did mention, hey, it was great seeing the other guys before. I guess there's a little goodness to this that the Angels did shut him out for nothing. Again, there was some great pitching performances, like you mentioned with Thomas shutting down the door there. That was odd because I didn't know what to expect out of Thomas, but there's some RBIs by Shanuel, Adele, and Sano. So that was great to see. But I think the main focus, the main reason it was on MLB Network Live was because of Shohei facing the Dodgers. Now, James, I want to talk to you real quick. I want to see your opinions on Shohei Ohtani being in Dodger blue. Now, I've seen it where, again, I'm used to it now. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. As why am I over there? Why people are still, thinking the way they are. I'm over it. I'm done. I understand he's over there now. I don't care anymore. James Malou, I'll ask you, what's your feelings with Shohei being a Dodger now? Do you wish him success? Do you wish him bad luck? Do you wish him well? And then how do you think his years will go with the Dodgers now that he's not an Angel?
Well, it's going to take, for me anyway, it's going to take some real getting used to seeing Ohtani and Dodger blue. It was like, when I first saw him, like, wow, there's Ohtani and Dodger blue. That's different. And then who's cutting onions in here? That when he embraced Trout, that was kind of, I was happy for the two of them, because they old teammates getting together. It reminded me of the World Baseball Classic last year when they faced each other, for the very first time, and then they're hugging it out on the field right before the game. But it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of bittersweet for me because none of us wanted to lose Ohtani, obviously, and to see him go up the 5 to our neighbors to the north, it kind of sucked, to be quite honest. And just to see him out there, I was happy that he reunited with the team in a way, and then we struck him out. That first strikeout, the second strikeout, and he flies out. I'm like, yeah, we got some justice for Ohtani going up the 5, for the very first time, and that was an important game. And as for his years with the Dodgers, I don't know. You can't really rate, or if I had a crystal ball, then I could see what was truly going to happen to Ohtani with the Dodgers, but we don't know. And he could, he's already dealing with, having a second Tommy John surgery. They didn't call it Tommy John, but let's call it what it is. It was Tommy John again on his elbow, and then he can't pitch for a year. And who knows what's going to happen after that? Is he still going to be able to pitch and hit? He's going to be a year older. There's no telling. He's, already getting up there. I think he's 29 or 30 now. You can't do both your whole career, so it's going to be interesting to see if he does have other injuries, or maybe he does win 3 or 4 more MVPs. But, he's Ohtani. He's going to, much like Trout, they're legends of the game, and he's going to do what he does. He's going to be Ohtani, just like Mike Trout's going to be Mike Trout, But, with Trout, unfortunately, he's aging, and Ohtani will too. So I'm just anxious to see in the coming weeks, once we get into the season, how everything plays out. And I'll be there. I still have love for Ohtani. I don't hate him. He got his money, good for him. But I'll still watch it, just like everyone else does, because I'm a fan of baseball, first and foremost. And I'm a fan of the Angels, and he was one of our former players. So I'll still watch. I know some people, they're like, no, I'm never rooting for Ohtani ever again. He's with the Dodgers now. I know Todd Fox. He was going off on that. Todd has a different feeling about Ohtani, but right here on the network. But for me, it's kind of a feeling of, I don't know. I don't know how to feel right now. Ask me during the season, maybe I'll have a different point of view. But it's right now, it's kind of a bittersweet feeling. It's like it's still kind of fresh. So I know some of us Angel fans are sad. Some show hate. They're going to boo Ohtani. It's not his fault that he wants to win. Everybody wants to win. And he's with a super team. You can't knock him for that. But it's just the way it went down. You saw that, we all saw the writing on the wall, and people would always tell me, or they would always ask me, I should say, they're like, so James, where does Ohtani end up? And I always said the Dodgers, because I knew in my heart that's where he was going. I think we all knew it. It was obvious. That was the only obvious team. And when the whole Toronto Blue Jays thing was going on, and the plane that was going, that everybody was tracking, even I got, I was fully invested into that situation. And it turns out that it was just some businessman, or businessman and his family. That was funny. But we knew in my heart of hearts, I knew he was going to be in Dodger blue. And when it happened, I wasn't that surprised, but I was shocked at how much money, just like everybody else was shocked, how much money he was getting in all the deferments and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm still kind of sad, kind of bitter in a way. I have all kinds of feelings, but it was good. It was good to see Trout and Ohtani embrace right before the game the other day. So
yeah, they're professionals, so they're not
professionals. Yeah,
they're not gonna have like beef or anything like that. There was no war words or anything like that. Mike Trout's not that way. I think if
he's never been that way.
If he was different, he would be gone by now. He would ask for a trade. He would have thrown the organization under the bus. So you never really expected that from Trout anyway. I have a thing too, really quick. Okay, if Ohtani stayed with the Angels, say on this new contract that he got, do you think he would have deferred the money to later on to help the team win? I don't think he would have if he went to he stayed with them.
I think this was, I don't. I think it would have went real differently.
Yeah.
If he resigned with the Angels, I don't think there would have been no deferment.
Hell no.
It was ultimately, I guess it was his idea, so they say. But yeah, I think we would have been on the hook for that right away. So that would have been, we couldn't have taken on $700 million. That would have just sunk the team completely.
Yeah. And to think about it, it kind of stings when you mentioned that Ohtani preferred to defer the money.
Yeah.
That kind of stings, but it also puts a horrible show on the management and Artie Moreno. It's another stain on their shirts. All right. Let's get into some fun here. The Angels, I think, are 8-6. Let's see if they lose a split squad today. And you mentioned this in the chat. That headline tells it all. Pat Riley, I think, was it? He patented it this um, three-peat moniker right here. But for the Angels, we know the last two seasons they've won the spring training record. I don't think there's a trophy with it, a cactus, a cacti. Um, you know, I don't think they will for once, and maybe that'll help in the regular season.
Right.
I'm not even looking at the records. When you think of spring training, and there was a video a couple of days ago with Rob and Fernando, they were mentioning what is spring training for, what spring training is. For me, I always think, well, it's for people's progress, for what they wanted, how they're gonna do. They're 8-4, but they'll probably be 8-6 now. The Dodgers are 9-3, the Royals are 9-4, and the Rockies are 8-4. Obviously, the Dodgers are going to be ahead of everything, but you won't see Colorado in anything. You
No.
won't see Kansas City. I think they're going to compete better. It won't. I don't think it will translate to winning games, but they went out and got starters, so that was great to see
Yeah,
them.
they did. They went out and got actual players, relievers too. So
Yeah,
did we with Stevenson and Simber and a couple other people. Oh, that's another name, Simber. We never talked about him. But anyway, yeah, they're going to be much like the Angels, I think, this year. Maybe they'll lose more games, but Kansas City is definitely doing something this season. They may wind up in a second wild card if all goes well, but I doubt it. They're
man,
much like the Angels, where they're going to be maybe a third or fourth place team.
right.
But go for it.
Go ahead. No, with locking up Bobby Wood Jr. for a while, that was great. They went
Yeah,
out and got two starters from San Diego. They
I
got
think Will
Will,
Smith too. Will
and he's
Smith,
been
the
on
pitcher.
three of the last World Series champions.
Yep.
You think about it,
Hey, maybe they become champions.
that would be something.
That would be
Um,
crazy. There's something magical going on if that happens.
and they don't spend.
Yeah,
They don't
they don't
spend at
spend.
all.
No, because they're a small market team.
And that's why I always hate when Oakland has a winning record against the Angels or anybody that doesn't spend. That always hurts. But I'll ask you, Malou, do the
Yeah.
Angels have a shot to win the spring training championship or whatever it's called? Will it be a three-peat?
I'm thinking not this year because I think they lost both games today already.
Yeah,
But
they should be
it's
winning.
fun. It's fun playing with this narrative because we always joke that last two seasons it's just been we're the Cactus League champions, and then going for this three-peat, why not? Hey, but anything can happen. But I don't think this year we're going to be Cactus League champions. Do we really care if we're not? Doesn't really matter for anything, It's just,
No.
but that's just the ongoing joke. That's the only thing we win. We just win in spring. That's it. Anyway,
It reminds me of those 2008 Detroit Lions who went 4-0
yeah,
in the season and then promptly went 0-16 in the regular season.
right. No titles are won in preseason.
No. Individually, you
Unfortunately.
can have your goals, you can have
Yeah.
your mindsets to being, hey, this is what we have to do every day. We have to see who fits in well. So I did like that podcast with Fernando and Rob mentioning, hey, what is spring training for? And
Yeah.
this gets to our last topic. So, like you mentioned in the show already, but let's get to the end of it where you, James Malou, are going to Tempe, Arizona to check out the Angels. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're going to check out other ballparks, but again, go through all that and then like what your
Ooh, I
plans
like that
are.
headline.
Yeah, what your plans are, and then Are you going to see other teams out there in other stadiums? Are you going to enjoy the nightlife? Go to other events. Just run through. Because when I went in 21, everything was inflated as hell because of the pandemic. It was
The
like
pandemic, yeah, that was an interesting
spectacular.
time for baseball.
Yeah, and I
Um,
kind of saw the construction going on for the most part for like 2 years already. There's been
yeah,
construction going around there. It's still not done yet.
no,
So you'll be seeing a lot of that. Um, but yeah, everything was inflated. It was like $60 for a spring training ticket. I still couldn't believe that. We couldn't go see Ohtani because it was sold out against the White Sox at Glendale. So that
yeah.
was unfortunate. But got to see the Angels against the Diamondbacks. Friday we got there. Saturday I saw the Giants in Cleveland. Sunday hung around. So that was really cool. But yeah, how long are you gonna be out there? What are you gonna do?
Well, I love that tagline right here. Milo goes to Tempe. I'm
Yeah.
leaving Friday. I'm going for 4 days. It's an annual trip. I do it. I make the pilgrimage to Tempe every year, like clockwork. And when I get there, I'm gonna go straight to the. I'm gonna drop off my bags at the hotel and go straight to the ballpark for Angels Rockies. And then I'm
Yay.
gonna figure out, yeah, yay, that should be a good one. Then the next day, I'll be heading over to Mesa, which is the next town over, and seeing Cubs Rockies. So another
Hey now.
Rockies game. Yep. And then the final game on Sunday, I'm going to see Angels Padres at Tempe, which should be
That's
fun. And yeah, and I usually meet up with people. I know some people that are going this year. Well, I know people that go every year. I'm also Saturday night. I'm also going to see our friends at angelswin.com. They're having a meet and greet on Saturday night at Four Peaks Brewery in Tempe, which is a great spot. And they're going to have a special guest at the event too, a special Angels person. So I'm excited to see who that's going to be. They always have somebody great. One year they had Artie Moreno. This was like 20 years ago.
that
But
would
yeah,
have
our friends at angelswin.com. He won't be showing his face again, I don't believe.
no. I wish
He would never he would get torched by Angels fans.
yeah.
So it's probably going to be a former player like Gubaza or somebody, or Victor Rojas or somebody like that. But I'm excited for that, and to meet more Angels people, or just to meet people. Period. I love on my travels. I love meeting people, especially baseball people, and especially the whole vibe at spring training is something that doesn't compare because everyone's so excited, about their team, and it's a really neat thing to go to spring training. If you've never been, you got to go at least once. There's a whole vibe about it. I hit Mill Avenue. I hit the nightlife, eat, drink, whatever your drink is, some daddy sodas, maybe. um, as a friend of mine used to call them. Maybe eat some pizza. I don't know, but it's gonna be fun, and I can't wait. And I come home on Monday, so and then I'll have some content for y'all. Hopefully, I'll record a little bit so you get an idea as to what I do at spring training. And it's a lot of fun. Maybe I get some people in there too. And I always end up running into people that from here, all the time because they always go out there. Matter of fact, I ran into some people I worked with last year. That was kind of weird because we all went to vacation at the same time. I didn't know they were baseball fans, so that was different, but it was
Yeah.
cool. And it's just an overall good experience. You got to experience Tempe or the other cities or all all of the cities out there. It's a Phoenix area, so every city has a different ballpark. It's 15 teams, and the other 15 are in Florida, as you know. Um, yeah, just travel to every one of those ballparks. Me, I tend to stay in the Tempe area because I don't like to go too far, but I want to go to Talking Stick at Salt River or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks play there, and I believe the Rockies play there too. talking stick.
Mhm.
Everybody raves about that stadium. I have yet to been there
That's nice.
or go there, I should say. And then I've been to Camelback. I went last year or no, the year before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been all over.
I want to. Yeah, I think one day I'll go. Maybe next year, but for now, I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, I'll let you have it. I'll let you explain to us how it's going. I did like that one bar. I think it was a pizza karaoke bar. It's in Tempe. I think where ASU is. I think that was pretty cool. It was just
We were
surrounded
at
by a bunch of other bars or whatever. It was really nice. I think everybody
the
was there.
tailgate. We were there
Tail-
once. Remember the tailgate? I go to the tailgate. It's right in Tempe there by Tempe Diablo. It's a little dive, but a lot of nice
Oh
people
yeah,
there,
no,
and
that
the food and drink
yeah.
pretty cheap.
I cannot
That's one of
remember
my
what that
favorite
other one
spots.
was called. That
It's tailgate
what
bar.
do you call it? Yeah, the one with the pizza and the karaoke though, and all the people were there. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, that's right. I forgot you were there.
Yeah, I
That
can't remember.
was shoot. What was that place? That
Yeah.
was it the Mellow Mushroom? No, it was something else.
I don't know. They had the lyrics all over the walls and everything. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's a neat place. I forget the name of that place because I didn't go there last year. I didn't
It
do
was
much.
funny.
I was only there for 2 days.
In 21, I met up with so many. I saw so many people I knew on like Facebook and Instagram. I was like, wait, I know that person. And live and
Yeah,
color, I knew like, hey, it's all these people I
right.
know, but I never saw.
That's the
So
beauty of spring training. I'm telling you, you're going
yeah,
to run
definitely.
into everybody that's on social media because they all go for the same things, and it's a beautiful thing. And you get
That's
to
right.
see some of our viewers that view this video, which is great. Like a little meet and greet. And yeah, spring training is just its own entity. It's great. And if you've never been, you got to go. That's all I can say. I mean, you got to experience it for yourself, as you know, James. It's a good time.
There's something for everyone.
Something
Just
magical.
I'll say that it's something
Yeah,
for everyone. If you're really into the game, you could really follow everyone. Like you
right,
stay on the innings, scout yourself. You could do the
right,
scouting yourself. If you're there for the atmosphere and people,
right.
there's spaces, there's the hills out in the outfield. It's all over.
Yeah,
It's right
I
there.
love standing in the outfield because you're like up close and personal. It's like being at a major league game, but on a smaller scale, which I love. There's something intimate about it, and you're up close and personal. You can in some parks you can actually stand right there while they're warming up
Hmm.
at the bullpen or right over the bullpen or wherever they have their bullpen situated. And at one time, I remember years ago when we had Tim Lincecum that one year. Um, Actually, it was I got to see him warm up at Tempe Diablo. He was with the Giants. That's right. He was still with the Giants, but that gate right there in left field down the third baseline, the Angels have or the visitors have their bullpen, and you can go down there up close and personal. You can just practically talk to them. So I got video of that. I should look for that because that was something. Man, that kid had a live fastball too. Let me tell you, I miss that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But anyway, that's
When
just
he
some
got
of the
the
things
game,
you'll see out at spring training.
yeah, may I'll be out there one day again. But hey, great to catch up with you,
Yeah,
James.
always, James.
Here on James Squared, the fourth edition. Tune back for the fifth edition. Maybe it'll just be Milu by himself. Who knows? But he'll have some reports and some outlets from Tempe, hopefully from the stadium as well,
Yeah,
wherever you may go. Where in the world is Milu going to be? So we'll
yeah.
all find
I'm like, where's Waldo over here?
There you go.
I'm gonna be in
All
my
right.
red somewhere in Tempe. So if you see me, run into me. Say hi. If you see me, say hi.
All right, folks. We'll
We're
catch you
silly.
later. please subscribe and follow the Halos in the Infield here, and don't forget our sponsors, Noble Ale Works. Just a good walk from the stadium and from the pond. And then check out 714 Tickets for all your ticket needs throughout the season.
714 Tickets. 714 Tickets.
I'll let you do that. Every time I say 714 Tickets, just go off from there because I don't sing.
Call today. Go tonight.
That's it. There's rain here in the forecast in Southern California. I don't know if there'll be a game Thursday because usually it runs out there. But just check in back with us on Halos in the Infield. And we'll see you next time on James Squared. Later, folks.
Later. I'll see you in Tempe.